Well, good morning, our beloveds. We are out in the glorious New Mexico sunshine. It is early in the morning, but when you are at such a high elevation, the ambient radiation of the sun is quite intense. It heals the skin. It teaches you that you are alive. It reminds you of the resurgence of the energy field that comes from the sun. If you recognize that whatever it is that comes from the sun initiates plants to grow, initiates plants to teach other plants how to grow, meaning that it is in the DNA to pass forward in its seeds. It is a time of regeneration, renewed growth, renewed hope in the Northern Hemisphere, and a time of harvest, replenishment, and preparing for dormancy in the Southern Hemisphere. This is the cycle of life where one side is being reborn and the other side is preparing for hibernation or the death of winter and coming back again. The flip side of the coin. You all worry so much about living that you forget that the dying process is part of the regenerative process. You fear death because you all have not had conversations on what death really is in the real world versus the religious world. We are here to remind you that those who have near-death experiences are probably the greatest teachers of what happens after death, during death, and before death. There is a consistency. Your intentions matter, your belief systems matter, and your afterlife matters. So if you look at the majority and where they go, what do you anticipate? And then if you look at the minority and what they experienced, what do you anticipate? Where are their patterns? Where are their clues? There is nothing in the afterlife that is set in stone. You get to experience it to a certain extent based on your belief system and your intentions. If you believe that you are worm food, you will be worm food until you realize, oh, it is my belief system that is keeping me stuck. Again, look at those who have had near-death experiences. And then also look at those who have had spiritual awakenings, kundalini awakenings, those who connect with the other side without having had the traditional near-death experience. The energetic imprint, the shift, is about the same. When you connect with the divine, when your energy flows wholly, fully, completely through your body, there is nothing that is hidden from you. You just now need to learn to read the patterns of the universe, to make sense out of them, and most importantly, to recognize that you are not going crazy or that you are not crazy. This is an afterlife experience that a few of you have had the privilege of experiencing here on earth. And now, as there are more kundalini awakenings occurring, this is the Great Awakening, if you recall, this is what it will look like. This is what it will feel like. It is disjarring to your nervous system. It is confusing to your mental capacity. It is threatening to your belief systems. And your culture and your community may not be ready for this unless you are raised in a culture and community where spiritual awakenings are part of the evolutionary process. We will be teaching more through our another in the coming months. It is on her plate, and we need to navigate this with her because we do need to get it right. Our goal is to provide you with a resource or multiple resources on what a Kundalini awakening looks like, and not through the traditional teachings, but through the normative teachings, meaning that we are now in the 2012 post-apocalypse period. If 2012 was the apocalyptic experience, meaning that was when whatever it is that was meant to happen happened, this is what it looks like on the other side, where you all are forced to kill off, destroy, burn away, leave behind, explore with greater detail that which no longer serves you, and to move you into the Aquarian age. Means that you must leave everything behind. We talked about this in our 6-year series of what the spiritual awakening looks like. But now you, the collective, those who are not listening, you are in it and you don't know it. What looks like death is birth or rebirth, and it is regeneration of what is meant to exist, what is meant to occur, what is meant to thrive and bloom and regenerate itself. And that which is meant to die off will. And it means a lot of things that we will not go into right now, because many are not ready for these teachings. But whether you believe in something or not, such as gravity, does not deny or prove its existence. It exists outside of your belief system. But this is a time where what you have believed that is not grounded in truth will no longer serve you, will no longer bloom, will no longer produce fruit, because it is dead on the vine. And there will be new vines growing up. And you all as a collective, and as well as the individual, will need to learn how to tend to these new vines, to understand what they are and what it is that they produce. Spiritual enlightenment is not what most of you have believed it to be. It is simply learning to live compassionately, collaboratively, and connectively within your body to whatever is outside of you, which is us, the universe, as well as your fellow human beings who are around you. They are more interconnected with you than you realize, and their well-being impacts yours, and yours impacts theirs. So we will now continue to weave the threads of gold and silver and love and harmony through the universe. It may take some time to ripple out, but it will be there, and it will kill off the cancer of disbelief and hatred and decisions to annihilate the world. It is done. Love has won, but it simply has not infiltrated every corner of the planet yet, which is really a play on words, because a round sphere does not have corners. But nonetheless, we digress. Just keep holding on to that rope, trusting that something better will come. This is the phase of destruction. This is what birth feels like, when everything that you have known, what has provided a comfortable and safe space for you while you are incubating and growing and developing, that phase is over and you are ready to be birthed into a new existence. And it is painful, it is terrifying, it is bloody, it is noisy, and it is not desirable, but it must be achieved so that you don't die in the birth canal. So allow the squeezing of the universe to continue, to move you along, to get you to where you need to be, where the peristalsis of the shit moves everything out that no longer serves you. It is a difficult time, And yet it is also a time of regeneration, because the shit that is being removed will also be the manure that ultimately postures in your garden as something else, which are the nutrients to build out this next generation of experience, exploration, and adaptation. And so it is. Namaste.